360 cameras are brilliant because it doesn't matter where you point them, you capture absolutely everything. Now, I've been using the Insta360 X3 for probably a year and a half now, and now I've got the Insta360 X4 to test. But is bigger better? That's what we're going to find out. The second you get these cameras side by side, you can immediately tell that the X4 is bigger. But does that mean it's better? Well, one of the reasons it's bigger is because of this battery. If you take a look at just the physical size, this battery is now over 2,200 milliamp hours, whereas this one I believe is just only 1,800 or so. And what that gives you then is an extra around about 50 minutes of recording time, which means that you're not going to miss out on a shot. Now, the latest X4, it's way better because you can get 8K resolution, which it sounds like a lot and maybe too much if you're recording for YouTube and you can only upload in 4K anyway. But actually it means that because you're capturing a wider resolution, when you do reframe your shot, it means you don't lose any of the quality that perhaps you might have done before. Not only that, you can record in 5.7K plus, 5.7K and 4K, including slow motion. And this is what slow motion looks like compared to the X3. Because the X3 you can only record in 3K at 100 frames a second, 4K or 5.7, so you're a little bit more limited. Another thing I've noticed immediately is just turning the camera on. I don't know whether it has a new processor inside or what they've done to speed it up, whether it's software or something, but it turns on really fast. When you hit record, it starts recording almost immediately, and that was one of my bugbears with the X3, is that sometimes you would try and turn it on and press record, and by the time it actually started recording, you'd miss the shot that you wanted. Something to be aware of, they send you this nifty little cover, and behind it, or when it's not fitted, behind it are these little ridges in the body of the camera itself. And they're there, I believe, to act as a heatsink. So when you put this little cover on that just clips on and off really nicely, when you're shooting in 8K, the camera body gets really hot. And so this acts like a heatsink to help keep it cool. And yeah, they recommend that you use it in windy conditions or while you're moving the camera physically. So for me, like riding the bike. But yeah, something to keep an eye on, because you don't want your camera to overheat and miss that perfect shot. Some quick comparisons then. First, the microphone, and then colour boost versus RAW. The second is with the studio noise reduction and colour boost, and compare that to the X4. Both of these clips were filmed without the microphone muffs that you can buy separately to improve quality again. And also the X4 with clarity boost. See the difference here in the photos. If you look at the bottom left where the wall is in shot, you'll see a little bit of difference in the clarity versus colour boost, but I think colour boost is better. Overall, the colours alone in the X4 versus the X3 are far superior, as well as a slightly improved microphone function. I just want to touch on the editing process slightly, mentioning colour boost and the noise reduction. So let me show you here. You can find the colour and clarity adjustments just up here, as well as more advanced adjustments. You can also use the tracking function, which is what I use to film the opening clip. This small section is sped up by 10 times, so it does take a moment for it actually to do its thing, but it does a perfect job. I mentioned reframing earlier on, and if you haven't used the 360 camera before, basically it means where the camera view is pointing at. To do that manually, obviously open the software, you click this little plus button, which is a keyframe, and that will add a keyframe. That means wherever you leave the camera at that keyframe, and whatever movement you make before the next is the angles that will be shown. So choose what you want, and you can end up with a clip like this, or probably far better than I've chosen. When you do reframe things, and particularly if you zoom in too far, you reach a limit of the camera quality. Because you're zooming in so much, the image becomes grainy and pixelated, as you can imagine. The bonus with 8K resolution, as I said before, is that the limit is far further away, meaning when you do zoom in, you're much more likely to have a good video at the end of it. If you think the 360 camera isn't great at stabilising the shot, take a quick look at this next clip. We are riding off-road with our bikes, but with the built-in stabilization software, it takes a clip that has a ton of movement like this, and makes it only a little bit. This second clip is a mirror of the first, but now just with the stabilization running, and look at how good a job it does. Cons list. It's expensive. It starts at around £500, and with accessories, you can easily get it to between £700 and £900. The gesture control, it takes a bit of fine tuning to try and figure out what to do and how to do it. Sometimes with really bright sunlight and when you're using the lens guards, you can occasionally get some lens flare. Editing takes a lot of time to reframe the shots and choose what you want to do. Not really a con, but more of a concern. Heat management. I am a little bit worried about this device overheating when shooting in 8K. Pros. Let AI take the wheel and edit it for you. It saves some of the hassle, though it's not always perfect. Quality. I've never had a single issue with the X3 or the X4 turning off or not recording or not doing anything that it should. It's always been infallible, and not only that, all the accessories seem way over-engineered, which means it's perfect. It's super sturdy and strong. The speed of the camera turning on, and then a video capture. I don't know what they did or how they did it, but it works. The battery life improvement is also a welcome addition this time round. The 8K resolution sounds boring to say, but it just means that the video footage is so much better. There's a better light sensor on the X4 as well, so it's much better in low light than the X3, and not only that, every single time I shoot with it, it seems to have way deeper colours than the X3. So the Insta360 X4 is pretty expensive, but it's almost infallible, and it does the job of at least 2 action cameras. So really, it's a bargain. I absolutely love using mine, and if you want to get your own, you can use the code on screen now to get a free gift when you order. I'm going to go off to use mine some more, because I love it. Catch you in the next one.